Joining us on the dais now from Notre Dame, we have head coach Muffet McGraw, student athletes Kayla McBride and Jewell Loyd. We're going to begin with questions for the student athletes. Please, again, raise your hand for a mic and state your name and affiliation, and please address specific student athletes. And we'll begin with questions now. We'll start right here.
Doug Feinberg, the Associated Press. Kayla, what's your team's mindset right now that you're at the Final Four?
You know, I think right now we kind of took it all in after winning the Elite Eight game, but it was right back to business the next day. We knew we had a great team in Maryland, and we're just trying to focus on how we're going to win those 40 minutes against them.
Question right here.
Hi, this is John Glennon with the Tennessean. This is for Coach McGraw.
Actually, John,
Oh,
we're
I'm
going to
sorry.
take questions for the student athletes
Okay.
first. Thank you.
This is for Kayla then. Kayla, I wonder if you could talk just about the experience of making 4 consecutive Final Fours, and then how much would it mean to kind of break through and win it here if you get that chance in the last one?
Well, I think it just says a lot about this program, Coach McGraw, the coaching staff, and being able to get to 4 Final Fours. I know me and the other 2 seniors are really excited to be here. And, you know, your senior year, you kind of want to just take it all in and have a lot of fun. And that's my mindset, is just taking it all in and trying to go out with a bang. Obviously, I want to win a national championship. But, you know, I'm just trying to focus on having fun with 40 minutes of basketball.
Right here.
Kurt Rallo, South Bend Tribune. Kayla, that first game against Maryland, what did you do that you liked? What do you think you need to change, and how do you do that?
Well, I think Maryland's a great physical rebounding team. I think that's their biggest strength, is how they crash the glass. Alyssa Thomas is a great player, All-American. So how are we going to contain her and be able to contain their transition game and then their rebounding game? I liked how we moved the ball. I think we kind of got open looks, got easy layups, especially in the first half, which got us into a big lead, but then we started fouling and closed the gap. So I think it's just running our offense and executing our game plan, and also defense and rebounding.
We'll go with Kurt again.
Jewell, can you talk about just now that you've been to 1 Final Four already, what's more helpful to you, and is it more of a help on the court or off the court, dealing with knowing what the Final Four experience is like?
It's definitely easy to get distracted with, everything here, the media, just a different town. But I think as a team, we do a good job of making sure our mindset's focused on the game, and that's what we're worried about, is just the game. And coming into practice, I'm worried about the details and stuff like that. So I think our team does a really good job of making sure we're focused for the game ahead.
Doug?
Jewell, they came back on you and made it a pretty exciting game when you played at their place. Do you think that helps you guys, that it wasn't an easy 20-point win, that you had a battle and have shots at the end to sort of win the game?
Definitely. I think it helps us. So I think we came together at times, and we kept our poise, and that helps because down the stretch, Final Four, it's crucial games and crucial moments, so you need to stay together, and we can use that as, as something in our back pockets for this game coming up.
Right here, John.
Yeah, John Glennon with the Tennessean. Jewell, I wonder if you could talk about the challenge, of course, of Natalie going down just a few days ago and kind of changing the lineup, changing the chemistry, and how you guys think you'll adjust to that in the Final Four.
I don't think it's necessarily a challenge. It's just time for other people to step up, and we have all the confidence in them that they will, and how we prepare for games. And we don't just depend on one person to step up. It's a whole team effort, and Coach has done a great job of making sure that we're prepared for that.
Question here in the middle.
Chris Goff, Fort Wayne Journal-Gazette. Kayla, what words of advice have you maybe given Ty Reimer this week as she prepares to sort of take on a larger role?
Well, I don't want Taya to put too much pressure on herself. I don't want her to come in and feel like she has to do everything that Ace did for us. I think we talked about it being collective effort. I think everybody has to do more, myself included, Jewell. We all have to do one more thing to fill that void that we're going to lose with Ace. But I just don't want to put a lot of pressure on her. I just want her to play the game and have fun like she has been all year.
Anything else for the student athletes? Okay. Okay, we'll dismiss the student athletes. They will be available in the locker room. Before they go, I wanted to introduce the Notre Dame Sports Information Director here in the corner, Chris Masters. If you had anything further that you need, this is Chris. Thank you. And we'll take questions now for Coach McGraw, and we'll start right here.
Muffet, you said on the teleconference that Jewell had even exceeded your expectations. Given how remarkable a player she was coming out of high school, what a freshman year she had, in what ways, I mean, it seems like the expectations would have been pretty high anyway. In what ways did she exceed your expectations?
I think how she played in the big moments. She got her career high against Baylor as a freshman. They were the #1 team in the nation. She was very consistent for a freshman. I think you expect that a freshman's going to be a little up and down. They're going to have a learning curve at some point in the season, maybe question some of their own ability, and she just never did that. I think she was just so steady all season long, and then this year to come in and really elevate her game. She's playing like a seasoned veteran. She is aggressive looking for her shot. She knows how important she is to the team, and she's really stepped her game up.
Her demeanor seems, she was the most professional college freshman I've ever seen. Her demeanor is so unflappable. Do you think that's where that consistency comes from?
I think it does. I think she has a deep faith, and I think that keeps her going, and it keeps her steady. And she has really gained a lot of confidence this year, too.
Coach, Christopher Smith with Thrive Sports. I was wondering if you could, can you talk about what the rebounding will, in this specific matchup against Maryland?
Yeah, it's our biggest challenge. I think that's the key to the game for us is rebounding. They are a great rebounding team. They've got so much size inside. They're physical, they're skilled. And for us, losing our leading rebounder creates a little bit of a problem in that area. So we're really hoping that everybody does a little bit more. If everybody just gets 1 or 2 more rebounds, we're trying to make up for what Natalie would have given us.
Right here, John.
Yes, Muffet, as you considered how to replace Natalie in the lineup with which person, what were some of the considerations you took into effect as to making that decision?
It was a pretty easy decision. Taya started for us at the beginning of the year when Natalie was out. Natalie missed our first 3 games. Taya was the starter. She played very well. She is similar to Ace in what she can do at both ends of the floor. You know, she helps us in the press. She handles the ball. She's a good passer. She does so many things that we really need in our offense. She's very good in the Princeton offense. So I think it was a pretty easy decision to go with Taya.
Over here in the corner.
Steve Lehman, News Channel 5 here in Nashville. Coach, when you had that stretch early in the season without Ace, how did that help you, and did that prepare you for now what you face?
You know, it really did. It was so early in the year, but to see a freshman come in immediately in a starting role, you know, at that point we're starting 2 freshmen, so to see their maturity at that stage, I thought was really beneficial to them for the rest of the year. Taya's been in every big game. I mean, she comes in pretty quickly off the bench, so she's had a lot of minutes. So we've had some times with Natalie in foul trouble that she's had to go a little bit longer. So I think we definitely have played a lot of minutes with Taya in the game.
Question from Doug here.
Hey, Coach, Doug Feinberg, the AP. How much is experience playing a role here? I mean, you guys have been here 4 straight years now. Maryland's the first time since they won the title in 2006, so none of the players have been here. I mean, you've been through this. Is it going to make a difference that you guys have been here before? And if it is, what's the biggest thing that is outside of the basketball game that Maryland will have to deal with?
Yeah, I think the distractions. You know, I think that's the biggest thing you have to deal with. There's so many distractions, so many people, the fans. You really can't get out of the hotel without running into people. And I think for us, you know, it's more of a business trip, and we're enjoying it. And I think we've enjoyed all the moments that we've had this year. But I think there's so many distractions today, especially with the open practice and the autograph signing and all those things, that you really need to make sure you're focused on the task at hand.
Coach, you've always had a lot of experience with, you know, replacing players and continuing to have success, with Skylar last year being the most recent one. I'm wondering, obviously, Natalie's the big story now, but any time that you go through that sort of transition process, what's the key to continuing to have a good program as opposed to just relying on one specific player?
Well, we have really good players. You know, Taya Reimer was a McDonald's All-American, so it's a role that she's comfortable being thrown into. And I think giving them confidence, I think that's the coaching staff's job, to really give them the confidence they need to go out and do it on the floor. We believe in them, and their teammates believe in them, and hopefully that will kind of get rid of the jitters for them.
Question from Doug.
Coach, same thing I asked Kayla before. I mean, that first game, I remember at Maryland, you were really upset the way that they were able to come back and such. Does that sort of help you in a sense that now that you didn't beat them by 20, it was a tight game, you had to sort of pull it out, that you're playing them again?
You know, it actually does. When you watch the film, you get to see them at their best. And that's what you need when going into a game like this. You want to see what they do well. And Alyssa Thomas was unstoppable. I mean, she was phenomenal in the second half. She rebounded, she scored, she did everything she wanted to do. She played like the All-American that she is. And I think, we watched that and we're able to see a lot of the things that we did wrong. And I don't know that you can guard her. I think she's really, really difficult to match up with. But, at least we saw some of the problems that we had and tried to fix them the last couple days.
Question right here in the corner.
You sort of answered it just there, but it seems like if it's possible, Alyssa Thomas has even taken her game to another level in this tournament. How difficult is she to defend? What type of problems does her athleticism bring?
I think anytime you have somebody with her size and mobility, and she can have it in the open floor. I mean, she's great in the press offense. She gets the ball and brings it up. She's just so hard to guard because she plays so hard. She's relentless. She just is diving for loose balls. She's attacking the glass. She's doing everything that a coach could want a player to do. So it makes the matchup really hard. I think it has to be a team defense. I mean, you really have to try to have an awareness of where she is all the time. And they're good enough that you can't forget about anybody else, which makes it even more difficult.
Any more questions? Right here.
Muffet, how do you keep them focused on this being one game at a time instead of the bigger picture? I mean, all season long you've been like, it's one game, it's one game, it's one game, but you're sitting here 36-0, 2 games away from a historical year.
It's really been easy. That's probably been the easiest thing we've had to do this year is just take it one game at a time. The seniors have done a great job, the captains, the leaders, they've done a great job of making sure that nobody's looking ahead. They set the tone. We're in the Final Four. We've been here before, but we still know we have a lot of work to do. So I think for us, we know we can't get to a national championship until you win the first game. So I think it's really easy to stay focused. I don't think there's any distraction there at all.
We're going to take a question from our junior journalism group in the back.
Hi, I'm Margaret Gall, Harpeth Hall School. What is your mindset for the game today?
Our mindset is really pretty similar to what it is every game. We've got to take care of a certain amount of things. The keys to the game, rebounding, got to find Thomas and get a block out on her, transition defense. We're working on what we're going to do and how we're going to attack them. We're trying not to get too involved in anything else outside of that and really just focusing on how we stop them.
We'll take one more from the journalism group.
Hi, Helen Rickey, Harpeth Hall. How do your players maintain school and basketball?
Being a student athlete is a difficult challenge. I think the thing that you sacrifice is your social life. You have to put a lot of time in studying when your friends are out doing some fun things because you've been at practice all day. So it's difficult. I think it's definitely worth it, but you have to put a lot of time in, and certainly being a student is the more important of the two.
The question over here on the side.
Hi, Dwayne Walker, Sports Radio 92.9 The Game in Atlanta, Georgia. How do you plan on defending freshman Lexi Brown? Does she pose any type of problems for you, Coach?
Lexi has really improved since we played them last. In fact, I thought that our game may have been her coming out party. She really played well down the stretch in that game, and since then has played extremely well. Showed so much poise in the Louisville game, making some big free throws and some big shots down the stretch. She is a very, very talented player, all-rookie team in the ACC, which is difficult to do in our league when we have so many talented freshmen. And she presents a lot of problems for us. She's somebody that we really have to be aware of.